I'm going to call this meeting to order, and before we do anything else, we have to reorganize the board. What would you like to do?
I would move that Zeke be chair. Do you want the whole slate?
Well, let's hear it.
Zeke be chair.
It's off to a good start.
Hugh vice chair and Maria clerk. That would be my
Okay.
proposed slate.
We need a second. That was a motion, right?
That's a motion.
I second.
Okay, any discussion?
That was a nice choice of our chairman there.
Okay. Is pay the same? Yeah, okay. Okay, any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. All right, okay. Well then, next are rules of procedure. And I sent you a copy of that. This is from VLCT, and it just sets our rules of procedure. This was Gail Sorensen told us we ought to be doing this a couple of years ago. And it just recognizes that we recognize the public at our meetings and sets forth how we'll conduct our meetings and when they'll be and how we'll essentially run the meeting. Our rules of procedures. So, what would you like to do?
Well, I'll move that we adopt the rule of procedures. Is that just the VLTs or
Yep.
VLCT
Yep.
model?
Yes.
Rules of
Didn't we make them our own? Didn't we
Yeah.
change a few things? And
Yeah, we did. And this is we changed it, and this is the edited copy that we ended up signing last year.
Good.
Yep.
Well, I would second that.
Okay, any discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, we have adopted the VLCT model select board rules of procedure.
And do you have copies of that? That-
I do have a couple copies. I sent them around.
Okay, well, maybe we can make copies, and I'd like to have a copy.
Sure. All right. And let's see, moving on, we have set the meeting day and time. What would you like to do on that?
I think in the winter, I guess, should we make a motion first and then discuss it? Is that what you prefer?
Yeah, sure, let's do that.
I'll make a motion that the select board continue to meet the first and third Wednesdays of the month.
Is it the first and third? Is that what we meet, or is it every
It's
other
just
Wednesday?
every other Wednesday.
Oh, is it always every other? Okay.
So we just pick a start day, like
Happens
every other
that
Wednesday
way
starting
currently.
today.
Okay, so every other Wednesday of the month, starting at 6 p.m.
I'll second that.
Okay, any discussion?
And that doesn't preclude changing once the time changes in October to meet
Right.
at 5:30 instead of 6,
Sure,
if
or
we
when
want
the-
to do that.
When the daffodils
Sometimes
come up,
we-
or
Shift back and forth depending on.
red-winged blackbirds come back, yes, we can change it. With just celestial events. Right. We're models of flexibility. But for the time being, we'll,
Is 6
Wednesdays.
good for everybody, or is 5:30 better?
I would go with 6 myself.
Okay.
I prefer 6.
6.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
motion? Okay. Any more discussion?
My only question is that the 5:30 meeting like we had today, is that something that normally happens, or is that
That
how
was
frequent is
that was a meeting of the Board of
Right,
Abatement. So
right.
no, that doesn't happen. Sometimes we'll interview,
that? Okay.
have a short interview for, say, interviewing a new road foreman or something like that. We'll meet a little bit ahead of our
Okay.
regular meeting.
I caught that.
But usually at 6, that'll be our
Yeah.
default time. So Wednesdays, 6, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Every other Wednesday.
Yep. except during budget time. Did anyone tell you about that?
I heard through the grapevine.
Okay.
That becomes more frequent.
Yes. All right. The conflict of interest policy. We've been doing that the last few years. This is another Vermont League of Cities and Towns model policy regarding conflicts of interest and ethical conduct. And this would be, we did sign this last year, and I think the year before. And it is for all, it's for the select board and, let's see, all statutorily appointed or elected officials in the town of Dummerston. And I sent this around to everyone. What would you like to do?
I'll move that we adopt
Yeah.
the conflict of interest policy.
I second.
Okay, any discussion?
Seems like a good thing to me.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Okay. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. We have a conflict of interest policy signed again. Good. Moving on, we have to choose a newspaper of record. What would you like to do there?
I move that we choose the Commons as a newspaper of record.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, any discussion?
Yeah, I mean, my sense is more people read the Reformer, so I think we choose the Commons because it's less expensive. We don't want to be required to put things in the Reformer, but I wouldn't want to hesitate from putting things in there if we can, and if there's, you know, no charge or it's reasonable for whatever it is that we're doing.
Mhm.
But
Maybe having a compelling reason or
Yeah.
something like that?
yeah,
And I mean, there has been some, the suggestions that we stick with the reform, but I think expense-wise, let's get it out for the Commons. I think fiscally is the responsible thing to do, because the paper of record is really just for, you need that, I believe, it's only if we have to warn the articles for the town meeting. The other stuff is just the legal notices and things like that. We can actually opt between newspapers as required. If we were in a bind, we've done in the past where if the Commons doesn't publish in a timely manner, we can always opt to go to the Reformer if we have
Right.
to get it, to make, the notification to the public. So, I think just acknowledge that I agree that people read the Reformer more, but I think we can achieve what we need to achieve at a less cost by using the Commons.
right. And you mentioned another factor, which is the fact that the Commons only comes out weekly, so sometimes the timing doesn't work for us.
Any other discussion? All right, there's a motion to have the Commons be our newspaper of record. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, the Commons is our newspaper of record. Now we have to can start our appointment process. A select board assistant might be a good one to get appointed. What would you like to do there?
Well, I wonder about the word appoint. This is just a point of clarification.
Mhm.
Don't we hire a select board
Ah.
assistant?
Good
That's a
point.
hired, that's a paid
Good
position.
point. It is, right? Would you prefer to be hired or appointed?
Doesn't make any difference.
All right.
We're going with hopefully you'll accept one of those.
You can choose, Maria.
Try both if you don't.
Yeah, right. If you don't want
Right.
one, then we'll try the other one.
So, you want to hire a select board assistant?
So
Yeah, I'd like to see her get paid.
I will move that we offer the job to Marie Glayback and hire her if she accepts it.
I would second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Should I abstain?
Well, we want to just know if you're going to accept it.
Okay.
Do you need to think
Do you
about
need-
it?
Yeah, think about this, or?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, any other organizational things you think of? We're going to use Robert's Rules of Order to the best of our ability. All right, ready to move on? Okay, we have the minutes. Let's start with the minutes of February 28th.
I would move that we approve the minutes of February 28th, Select Board meeting.
I'll second that.
Okay, any discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I'll abstain because I wasn't there.
Okay. And then we'll move on to the minutes of our March 9th meeting.
I'll move that we approve the minutes from the March 9th meeting.
I'll second it.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I abstained, so I wasn't really.
All
And
right,
that still has Joe's still on it.
okay. Okay, that's great. So, let's move on to the warrants. We have warrants 19, 19P, and the Conservation Commission number 11.
Right, I'll move that we approve for payment warrants 19, 19P, and Conservation Commission number 11.
I'll second that.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, warrant 19 was for $29,416.40, and of that, there was our monthly rescue bill, new radios, and they're going to improve the efficiency of communication with the town trucks and between the town trucks and the fire department and other towns. And it will be, we're paying it right now, but it will be refunded through the grant for emergency management that we have for this current fiscal year. So we'll actually get that money back soon. There were property tax refunds, and this is going back to the when people were prepaying property tax, and then their banks went ahead and paid them later without. So just refunding those. Fuel, there was copier expenses and some of the usual operating expenses of uniforms and electric bills and things. So, all right. Any other discussion? All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So, do we have anyone from the public who would like to have the?
No,
Or-
I'm just here for something that's on.
Okay. All right. Then we'll invite our esteemed road foreman, Lee Chamberlain.
Hello?
Then our new select
I
board.
don't know.
I am not sure. Rachel, all right, Lee,
Thanks for all the work you do.
welcome.
Right.
Would you like to start with the bids, opening those?
Sure.
This is Win Clark, he's from A.S. Clark and Son, and they bid on this project.
Okay.
How are you opening that?
I'm great at it.
I've had trouble cutting bids in half.
Yeah.
So,
And paper cuts.
So for tonight,
okay with that.
we're just opening, reading them, and then we think about it for a couple weeks before we try to make a decision.
So those are grader bids? No, bridge
no,
replacement,
Yes, this is-
sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, this is for the Stickney Brook Bridge replacement. And that's up near the Sunset Lake Road.
Yes,
Right.
yes, it's really close.
Okay. So we have a bid from Renault Brothers for $196,000. That's Renault.
I have A.S. Clark and Sons $151,233.
I have Daniel's Construction, and it's for $229,550.
Okay, and I have, it's J. Evans Construction, $147,750.
Okay.
Okay.
So, Lee's going to look these over, make sure everybody is bidding the same specs and everything is in order. And then he'll let us know at our next meeting on the 28th, and we'll award a bid then.
Okay.
So, did you get all?
Lee, is this form new? This seems really easy, the way this.
I believe we used the same form on Tucker Reed Bridge.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Anyway,
Yeah, that was our goal, was
Yeah.
with the
kinda like-
engineer,
yeah,
and make it so everything is
parallel.
easier to
Yeah.
read. Yes.
And then they're each supposed to come with a certificate of liability insurance? Is that,
I don't believe it was required.
Right.
Wasn't
Not
required.
right now.
okay,
When we go to sign the contract,
then you have to
then
have
we
that.
have to have everything.
Okay. Lee, do you want
Oh.
to take these with you, or?
Or in a
Put 'em in a
folder
folder.
would be nice.
In a folder.
Or I can put them in a folder easy
We'll
enough, but,
have them in the highway folder
all
here.
right, yeah, and I can just look at them tomorrow.
And then the bid spec is in that folder as well, right? The
Okay.
Detailed bid requirements.
Yes,
Yeah.
is it also in this folder?
Yep.
All right,
Okay.
well, thank you.
Thank you. Good luck.
Yes.
Hang in there.
Yeah.
Road foreman.
Okay,
Okay. All right, so that was exciting.
yeah,
Um,
I'm just glad 4 people bid on it.
Yeah, that was good.
And we had invited 5 people to actually come to the pre-bid meeting, and 4 showed up and 4 bid, so I think
Great.
it was pretty good
Great. And
success.
then when somebody shows up at the meeting, do we give them a chance to talk, or they just come to sort of show
Right,
their
I-
face and?
yep. And if they were if they wanted to speak on a contractor or themselves, then when we award it, they might come back to explain more
Okay.
the differences, or the good thing is we have a set of plans. It's all been engineered, so it is everybody's
All playing on the same page.
right, and they have to follow the plans, which I do like that. And to compare, it's just about the same price as Tucker Reed Bridge.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, it's the same style,
Mhm.
and they're
Mhm.
just about the same price. But
Lee, is the grader
Whoops.
in that folder as well?
Yes, it is.
oh, all right.
If you could just tap that black thing if you want room service here.
Diet Coke, please.
Oh, go ahead.
All right. So, would you like to do the grader next?
Sure.
Okay.
This is like Christmas.
I
Yeah,
know.
exactly.
Really
A
exciting.
bridge and a grader.
Yeah. So we ended up putting out the grader to bid already. It was to Caterpillar, John Deere. John Deere sent back 2 bids for 2 different size machines. Caterpillar had 1 grader they bid on. Hugh and I looked over the specs and what compared to the grader we have now. We have to stay in a weight limit for the covered bridge, so it really doesn't allow us to go bigger. But the one we have now is a good size anyway. So, and it happened to be low bid, the one that we were looking at proposing, and that's the John Deere 622
622G.
G. Yes. And the total price would be $234,595. That's with the trade.
234,595.
And that's with the trade.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So the right.
And was that including any options that you
Yes.
could pick?
We did pick the front fenders, the rear fenders, and the backup camera. Or I don't know if it's actually called a backup camera, if it's on all the time or not. But and hopefully we're going to apply for a grant through the insurance company for half the backup camera. So, and they do give those out a lot. So I think it's a pretty good chance we'll get it.
And what'd you get for the trade-in?
48,000. There's the breakdown if you'd like to look at that.
So, should we vote to approve this, you'll place an order, but town meeting voted on this on the 6th, and so the money would be available in the next fiscal year, which begins on July 1st.
Right.
So,
And when I talked to them today, the build dates are out 4 months. So if we order it within the next week, it'll be about the 1st of July, middle of July. We should be ready, so.
Great.
Oh, can I see that? So I'll make the motion, and if we want some more discussion, so I'll move that we purchase the 2018 John Deere 622 G grader as offered by the dealer Nortrex Inc.
I'll second that.
Okay, any more discussion?
Is everybody comfortable with the? We had the breakdown of the 3 ones. We know this one was kind of the second one we initially looked at, but it's the weight,
Yep.
the torque, horsepower, everything it's compatible or even better than the one that we have now, I believe.
Yes,
correct?
yes.
So,
Any more discussion? All right, all those in favor? Aye. Okay, great, we have a new grader.
In June.
Yeah, in July.
July, yeah.
Oh, July.
Yeah, right.
I did talk.
Anybody drive this, do you think?
Yes, anyone can be trained on it.
Okay.
Hurry up, jump right in it. Yes, exactly.
Okay.
I did order a load of salt the other day to make sure we'd have enough for the winter, and Cargill did say that they're out of salt. So right now what we have in the shed is, if I was going to guess, is going to have to do it for a while. We do have enough in there probably for 3 or 4 more storms, just because it tends to work a little bit better this time of year. But I'll let you know when you see a lot of sand on the blacktop, that's the reason.
I was doing some little research because I had a call about someone who wanted to know about salt alternatives on
Yep.
the road. And there really aren't that many, but beet juice
Right.
apparently.
I think, don't they use, there was something else too they use.
Does it turn everyone's cars purple?
Yeah.
Does it turn everyone's cars purple, these days?
No, I don't think so. The equipment that applies it, yes.
Yeah.
And maybe the road crew,
Right.
yes. But it does have some negative effects if it washes off and gets into water,
Yep.
because it depletes oxygen. So, no silver bullet. So,
No, but hey, I'm not worried yet, put it that way. Yeah.
But if you need a lot of beets on Tuesday.
Oh, you got them?
No, on Tuesdays I get senior discount and I can do some shopping for you.
Yeah, like 10 ton of them. So anyways, all these snowstorms we've been getting, they're all elevation storms. So I don't know if anyone's been up on Sunset Lake, but like down along Route 5, they got 2 inches. Here, maybe 6. Up on Sunset Lake, it was 19, just in last storm.
Wow.
And the
such
storm-
a big difference.
Yeah, and the storm
Huh.
before that was as bad.
Wow.
Um, So that's where we're concentrating our next 2 or 3 days for working, as far as winging, pushing back snowbanks, trying to get ready for Tuesday's storm, because I'm sure that's going to be the same thing.
Is that the only high point?
Spalding Hill is maybe like 1,300 feet
Where's Spalding?
up by Wayne Emery's.
Just
That
north
way.
of the center here.
Yeah, just north of the center, towards
okay.
Holland Hill.
Oh,
that
okay.
way. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then Sunset Lake is like 1,600 feet, 1,700. So, but just because it hasn't been bad here doesn't mean it hasn't been bad.
Right, but so we have a
Um,
couple of places in town that
Yeah,
get hit when it's an elevation storm.
Right, but Sunset Lake is the major
Yeah.
one. That Spalding Hill Road is one road,
Mhm.
and it's manageable.
Mhm.
But Sunset Lake, there's probably 6 miles up there, 5 or 6 miles worth of high roads.
Huh. Whose route is that?
Les and Ron's.
Mhm.
Yep. Yeah, it's
They got
It
the
is.
short straw.
it is. Yeah, I'd like to say it's better up there sometimes, but really it isn't. Yeah. Other than that, I didn't have much else.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for me? Any of our public have? Okay. You doing okay on West Street?
I believe so.
Okay, good.
Yeah, and how's West Street doing on the road crew? The cars are parked well, and how are you doing with that?
Yeah, parking is always a little bit of an issue. Now that you brought that up, but we had on, and you might be familiar with the one on Camp Hardin Road. Cars parked out in the
Yeah.
travel lane.
Yeah. On
And
Camp Arden Road?
yes, and I did give the state police a call the other day before the storm, and I actually sent them a note also before, put it in their mailbox, but
Because on
And
Camp
the
Arden Road,
state-
they all have driveways.
it's too many cars for the parking spot. So 2-car parking spot and 3 cars.
Oh, okay.
So the state police asked them to move. They said they didn't get a note, or so they moved. They said they'd park over to Park and Ride for the storm. I don't know if they're still parking there
By the
during
covered bridge?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
I don't know if they're still parking there, like today.
Yeah,
That's your neighborhood?
yeah, I live up the hill.
Yeah.
But I don't.
How
Did
was
we-
it? Because there were 2 cars kind of in the northbound lane above the post office
Yes.
all day.
Yep.
Today, at least. I don't know, were they there during the storm yesterday? Or and then it's,
The
but
days-
it was
yeah,
just,
days
I could just see that was a
together.
maze this weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, I just
Right,
you know.
right. It is. It's never. We've never had to, like stop or not be able to get through.
Mhm.
And did we decide anything on parking during like today? A non-storm day, as far as parking in the travel portion. We never really came up with nothing, right?
Yeah.
Or
We didn't come up with an ordinance.
Right,
No.
right.
But there is something.
Well, we came up
about-
with an ordinance.
Yes, we came up
but
with it,
it
we
was-
did not approve.
It was
Okay.
not approved.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
We worked hard on that.
Yeah. Let's see, but there is a winter parking.
Yes, during storms,
Okay.
I know,
All right.
and that's why the state police, I believe they'll get towed next time.
Mhm,
He was just, I think because they said they didn't get the note,
mhm.
or maybe they didn't get the note, you know, I don't know for sure. But hopefully that will be taken care of there.
Yeah, I mean, I look at the parking every time I go through on West Street. You know, I'm always looking at where the cars are, and it seems to me a lot neater and tidier.
Yeah.
And I think that if there's a car that is stopped for a particular reason, dropping kids off at daycare, whatever, if they have their flashers on, that would be useful, you know, so that you know it's not parked there, it's just there for a task that somebody's doing.
Yep.
But for the most part, I feel like that whole conversation we had
Help.
did help clean things up. So, but now we've had a couple of storms, and so your
Right,
input
and the
is
snow
useful.
banks are getting, you know, everything's
Right.
getting narrower.
Right.
Mostly at the post office there at that spot.
It is March.
But the ones, yeah, there's some that bother me more than others, I guess.
Well, it has taken effect. I mean, there are people, I think, trying to get off the road more.
Yeah.
But this one is kind of, I mean, those two that were, I mean, they're clearly in the travel lane,
Mm-hmm.
you know, on the road, which
Yeah, it's not.
if he had to go through now, well, at least when they were there, it would not have been
Mhm.
an easy time.
Yeah.
Or it's almost a single lane in that area, so.
Mhm.
But again, I don't know if they were there during the storm, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, good to have that.
Right.
input.
Yeah. Hopefully we're coming to an end of the storms, but you
Yeah.
know, if you do see it though,
I know.
just, you let us know, or, well, you know, if you
Yeah.
can't get through.
Oh, if they're
Yeah.
definitely like,
Yeah.
hindering a lot, then the state police will get called.
Yeah.
And I have friends and colleagues who come up and over Sunset Lake and always say what great shape the Dummerston side of Sunset Lake is.
Mhm.
Thanks.
So, thank you. It's a lot of
Yeah.
hard work.
It, for most of the time it works out. All right. Have a good night.
All right, thanks, Lee.
Thanks, Lee.
Okay, let's see. All right, under correspondence for information, let's see. Wyndham Solid Waste Management District sent us a nice newsletter. We have the VLCT March newsletter, always interesting reading. And we did have that letter from Matthew Caparis regarding his grandmother, Beverly Knapp. And other than initially, I sent him a note initially. What would you like to do to wrap or close that loop? Anything?
So you haven't responded to him?
I did
Mhm.
initially respond, and I copied everyone.
Oh, okay.
Can you
But-
just tell me the subject of the, so I can pull it up?
This might have predated,
Oh, it predates me. Okay.
maybe.
Okay. Doesn't ring a bell. So.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, it does.
I just sent him one of my usual nice notes of thanking him for letting us know about Beverly, and that we bring
Right.
acknowledge his grandmother at town meeting, as Cindy does, and he was suggesting we maybe name a road after her. And after I sent the first note, I remembered, we have Knapp Road already, and so I sent him another note just saying, oh, by the way, there is a Knapp Road, although I didn't know the history of it. So.
Well, Jean, do you have anything to offer?
I was going to tell Zeke that I looked it up in the Dummerston history book,
Yeah.
and there was a farm up there, and their name was Knapp. It's where Legion Hills is.
Yeah.
So that question was answered.
Mhm.
I did have a suggestion.
Yes.
Would you like to hear it?
Sure.
Okay.
I could be. Everybody.
Yes, I would like to
okay.
hear it.
It just occurred to me that Beverly really loved flowers. And I didn't know if you could get some like perennials or something, plant them. I know we do have daffodils outside here, but if there could be something more that could be in there, and when people came in to the town office, they would see the flowers that were put there for Beverly.
In her honor.
And, I mean,
And are you
that's-
thinking particularly, bulbs or?
Something, some perennial that, you
Mhm.
know, doesn't require any care.
Mhm.
That'd be good.
Yeah, that's a great suggestion.
Just because it's, you know, I think that's appropriate. We thought about, well, the girls in the office thought about maybe a tree or a bush or something, but the flowers, I mean, I don't know if you ever went by where she lived, but it was immaculate, just beautiful. She just loved the flowers. So that's just a thought.
Okay. Okay, what's everyone thinking on that?
I think it's a good suggestion. I mean, as the spring comes, it's something we can look into and look for a location and maybe a little easier, or if you have suggestions or if the office folks have suggestions, where to put it. But yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Okay, so,
Well, that was good to you, wasn't it?
yeah. Maybe you can talk it over with the office people
Sure,
a little bit more and check back in with us.
sure.
Great.
That would be great, Jean.
Okay.
Yeah, if you would
Yes.
do that, that would
Okay.
be great.
Good.
And I'd be willing to help, on the planting day or.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay,
Good.
thank you.
Good, yeah, thank you. So,
So would you send him a little note,
I
let
will,
him know?
but we're thinking about this. I'll give him a little bit more history about Knapp Road.
And it's not related though,
No.
different now.
No, a different nap,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Because he was from up north, I believe.
Mhm. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Beverly was from the area originally.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Let's see, under correspondence for discussion and or action, there's a Wyndham Regional Commission public hearing on regional energy plan. They're having two public hearings, one in Townsend on the 9th of April, and then in Westminster on the 12th. And that is in our folder here.
I would hope somebody from the Energy Committee
Yeah.
would go to one of those and maybe
I-
report to us.
Yeah, I think this was emailed to the Energy Committee also. But I can just make sure and,
Yeah, I have it here, it was.
yeah, okay. Great.
Could we send a note to the Energy Committee
That
saying
we think
that
this would
we
be a great,
hope that they
Yeah.
would go and maybe report to us on anything that, any of
Yeah.
us could go too.
Sure.
If you want to go.
right. It's great, it says nothing about lunch being provided, but still. Is that something you could do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Good. That
Does anyone from the select board think they might go?
I probably will not. If you're just
Okay.
gonna answer that.
I
Um,
probably wouldn't either.
I won't be able to now.
yeah, so,
Okay.
the meeting in Townsend, it would depend, what the weather's doing that day. It was
Okay.
a Monday, okay,
Mhm.
so,
They're both weekdays, so.
Mhm. Okay, well, that just helps
we'll
me,
find something for you to do, don't
that
worry.
helps me,
Thanks.
Yep.
send our encouragement to the Energy Committee to attend since nobody
Right.
from here can.
What time are these meetings?
6:30 PM on Monday, April 9th.
Okay.
And then it just says Thursday, April 12th, so they are
Okay,
evenings.
probably, yeah, all right. 6:30. Okay.
Good, well,
And I'll see what I can do.
Okay.
And the 12th is at the Westminster Institute.
Right on the main drive there. Anything more about that? Going on, Velco sent us, I don't know about the paperwork reduction policy, but they
Yeah.
sent us quite a lot of duplicate
All the same stuff.
material. And this is just to let us know that they are seeking a modification on the southern loop to allow the interconnection of the Coolidge Solar Project. So, I'm not sure where this Coolidge Solar Project is, but, so this is probably going to the Vermont Public Utility Commission, and we are copied on it a couple of times, and if we would like to get involved or comment, I think we're welcome to.
And do we have a sense of what they mean by minor modification? Is it something where they're bringing in a lot of heavy equipment and going to be taking a lot of trees down?
I thought it was described as inside a fenced area.
Yeah,
And is that
installing
what, just
a
component
meter,
changes?
removing a conductor and replacing it, relocating 3 pedestal-mounted voltage transformer and lightning arresters, and relocate 1 multifunction meter in the control panel in the control building. So it seems like it, they're
Yeah, okay,
not,
it sounds sort of logistical.
not
With
cutting
equipment as
trees
opposed
or
to,
bulldozing anything.
Yeah.
And we have schematics here. If I knew someone on the energy committee, I'd like to take one, a copy home for them to.
that could be me.
Yeah, how about, that has some.
Okay. This bigger packet.
Yeah, schematics, is that what they're called?
Mm-hmm,
Yeah,
yeah,
probably be just perfect bedside reading.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And would you like just a little word from them? I mean, what would our expectation be?
If they need to, if they find something alarming that we've overlooked,
Okay,
then yeah, let us know.
okay.
But,
Good, thank you.
okay, all right. Anything else on that? We can move on to our new business. And this is our annual process we go through to appoint people to the various boards. Appointed officers like the Planning Commission, Development Review Board, serve for a certain term, 3 or 4 years, some of them for 1 year. And then we have the other appointed officers who serve for 1 year, and are tree wardens and fence viewers and delinquent tax collectors. So, let's see. And I guess there's no real great way of going through this.
But could we just take, we know 18, I'll just take the Development Review Board, I think there's 4 there.
Okay.
I just wanted you to take a board instead of.
Okay. I know Chad Farnham has spoken. He'd like to continue.
I'll do the planning commission.
Okay. All right.
So,
So sometimes we need people who can put some heat on these people.
I've got 2 on there that'll say yes already.
Okay, good, good. And then, the other approach we take is just not to ask.
to assume,
And, yeah, just assume
I
they.
got that from experience.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I was going to ask you to, I left something out there and I was going to send you out there to go get me something, and then we were going to discuss the
The
cemetery
cemetery,
committee.
yeah, this year.
But I have it on good authority that all the reps to the cemetery committee would like to continue. Where the heck did they go?
On the second page.
Second page.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll take the cemetery committee,
I've already,
every one of them.
I talked with the chairperson of the cemetery committee. She assured me that she had all her ducks in a row.
Uh-huh.
But if you want to, that's fine.
Are they good?
Yeah, I think they're good.
Okay.
I'll take the rec board if you want.
Oh, that would be great. Okay, yeah.
There's nobody on the conservation commission whose term is up?
Right, I'll take that one.
That's a nice long term,
Yeah,
4 years.
yeah. good work if you can get it. Let's see.
I'll do the Energy Committee,
Okay, we do have one,
because Julian's no longer here now,
right,
so this is open.
yes, so Peter's seat, he was finishing out a term.
Peter,
Yep, Peter Thorell, if he wants to be reappointed.
and so it doesn't say how long the term is.
Let's assume it's a 3-year term.
Okay.
How's that sound? We do have one member, since we're on the Energy Committee, Calvin Farwell.
Right.
Now, do you know Calvin? Okay. Sometimes we interview people who are
New.
going to be new to a board. Particularly, it's useful if, not all the members know this particular person who's applying, but I was wondering if we might go ahead, since Calvin Farwell is pretty well known, that we could go
I
ahead.
would be comfortable with that.
Yeah, and appoint him. And he's already talked with the board and had a ringing endorsement from
Would
the
he
chair.
be replacing one of the two whose term is up?
I think he'd be replacing Julian Geyser,
Yeah,
Okay.
and that would mean that he would start a new term, right?
Yes.
And his new term would be up in 2021.
yes,
Okay.
yep,
Well, I would move, do we need,
yes, let's,
I'd move that we appoint Calvin Farwell to the Energy Committee for a 3-year term.
Second.
okay, any discussion? All those in favor?
Right,
Aye.
okay.
All right.
Do you want me to let him know? Or
Sure.
do you want to do that?
I'll write him a note
Okay.
right tonight when I
Okay.
get home. Okay.
So library trustees, they handle it themselves, or does that
Yes,
need-
they're elected officials.
Right,
Now-
they're on the ballot, but there was some confusion.
There are 2 seats that are open.
Mhm.
And so what probably will happen will be the library trustees will send us a letter saying they'd like to, they would like to have, this person or that person serve on as a trustee. And we'll talk with them if we don't know, unless Calvin would like to do that also.
Well, I do know someone who's willing to do that.
Okay, they should just let us know.
Okay.
And if everybody knows the person, then we'll.
For
and
the
they-
library trustee?
Yep.
Should the library trustees bring that name to us?
That
That would
probably be
the
good.
right thing to
Right.
do, yeah.
And then we can appoint them to
Mhm.
serve until the next town meeting, even though it's a 5-year term.
Right.
We can only make an appointment like that.
Mhm.
And then if the person wants to continue, they
Right.
run.
So her friend should talk to somebody who's a library trustee.
Right. Well, she was already, she would have gotten the 16 write-ins, but there were 2 spots, and
Yes.
so people didn't know where to write her in, so
Right.
it got split.
Yeah,
Oh.
goodness.
So that's what happened logistically.
Yep,
So, okay, I'll let them know.
okay, great,
But they need to find someone else too, which maybe they have someone in mind.
yeah. Just going up that list, we still need a lister, and we still need an auditor.
Yeah, you almost got Glitter Dunham, I think. You planted a seed anyway.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to hold off on the planning commission. Unless your term is up now, I'd be quite happy to reappoint you right now.
I would say, and then Deb is happy to be reappointed as well.
Okay, let's do that. I know Deb and Beverly
I haven't talked to
Okay.
Deb.
and Nicole Talbot has let us know she does
She
not
did. She
want
did not want to.
Right.
Okay.
So I would move that we appoint Deb Ferret and Maria Glayback to the Planning Commission for a 4-year term. Each for 4-year terms.
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
It's a 4-year?
Yep.
Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll abstain.
Okay. Want to let Deb know?
I will.
Great. Okay, so,
So, see, let's back to the auditors. So Kelly, I mean, we appointed her initially, but is
She
she
was-
on there now?
she was elected for a 3-year term.
So her date is going to be 21.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You'll check with the development review board.
I will, yes.
Charlotte's good. Conservation Commission. Energy's covered. Recreation board is going to be Maria. Oh, how about our road foreman? Going to the page 4. The road foreman is just a
What's
1 year.
another
Yes.
hired?
Would you like to hire?
Well, I think we hire him, but he's an appointed,
Yeah,
it's a
Oh, we
position.
still have
The
to-
position is appointed.
yeah.
Yeah, so I'll move that we appoint Lee Chamberlain as the road foreman.
I would second that.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Well, we should let him know, but.
I'll let him know if you'd like.
Okay. Lewis White, I have a pretty good sense that he would like to, he's done a fabulous job as our first constable over the last year. And I would move that we reappoint Lewis White, first constable.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Animal control officers, Wayne Emery and Zeke Goodband. I think they are still, their conditions of parole are that they have to continue.
I would move that we appoint Wayne Emery and Zeke Goodband as Dummerston
This is one of the ones
animal
where we
control
don't ask
officers.
them, and then we just
Yes.
reappoint.
Second.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Looks like, okay, and the pay is the same on that one. I'll let them know. Assistant town clerk, so appointed by the town clerk. We have a select board assistant already. Health officer is
Through May 2019.
our weigher of coal. Let's see, how about we do one motion to do a couple there. We could do the weigher of coal. Ruth Barton has done an excellent job, I'm told. The pound keepers.
What do you do about Shorty, though? You can't appoint him.
I've heard that he would like to continue.
Really?
And, you know, I think he will do just as fine a job as we have called on him to
Okay.
do in the past
If
as
you
a
want,
town
if he
keeper.
wants to continue.
Yeah, I can't think of anyone
Okay.
else can, unless Harold would like to, but Harold's down there a little lower on the list. The inspector of wood, Shorty for rent. The tree wardens, actually, that should have been our first order of business. And I'm remiss in that oversight, but both of our tree wardens would like to continue.
So you already talked to them?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I'll move that we appoint Godfrey Renaud and Jonathan Royce as the tree wardens.
I'll second that.
Okay.
Are we doing all of these as a whole slate then?
Sure. I was trying to save us a little.
Need some typing?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I was just concerned about Shorty.
Yep.
Okay, so who made that motion? Geraldine did?
Well, I made for the tree wardens, except that's something we have to do first
Yep.
meeting, but okay.
I don't think we did the other three, Maria. I think there was an attempt to
Yeah,
do that, but
yeah.
it failed.
Okay.
I'll try. Shall I try again?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to move. Or we could have Hugh do it, so it'd save you a little typing here.
So I will amend my motion and we add Ruth Barton as the weigher of coal, Silvio Ferret and Ron Speck as pound keepers, Silvio Ferret as the inspector of wood and lumber, Godfrey Renaud and Jonathan Royce as tree wardens. Are we adding fence viewers in there too?
Sure. We're on a roll.
Let's fence viewers, Ruth Barton, Nelson Gilson, and Harold Newell.
Let's check with Harold. Harold, you still up for being a fence viewer? Okay.
And we know Lou is good for the regional commission. What about, do we know Roger?
Roger said he would do it if we couldn't find anyone else. I don't see anyone.
It would be great if he found someone that wanted to, you know, like if he
Yep.
finds someone,
Let's-
we'd be happy to interview them and,
How about we appoint him
yeah.
if he or someone comes along?
Mhm.
He might be willing to step down. And we
Yeah.
could-
Or if he's anxious to step down,
Yeah.
if he finds someone that would be really awesome, and
Mhm.
we'd be happy to interview
Yep.
them.
Okay.
So with that motion, Lou Sorensen for Wyndham Regional Commission and Roger Turner, Wyndham Regional Commission,
Okay. I did speak
with the caveat that
Yeah.
if you can find someone, we'll do
Yep.
it.
And since you're,
Did you get the fire wardens at town meeting too?
they are,
They're actually a
Okay,
longer
they're
term.
good,
Yeah.
good,
but
okay.
Pam McFadden is interested in continuing as our.
And she
delinquent-
was voted in, right?
No, we were authorized to appoint a delinquent tax collector.
That was the article that authorized us to appoint.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and
Okay,
I
yes.
did check with her, and
She's willing.
she's willing to stay on board.
Good.
I will add Pam McFadden as delinquent tax collector to
Thankless
that motion.
job.
Michelle Sherrier has let us know that she's good at, but I haven't checked with Lester.
Well, let's just appoint him.
What the heck?
I mean, you know,
You-
he
you
can
could-
always back out of it,
Yeah,
right?
I think he likes doing it.
I think he
mean,
likes
that's
it. Yeah.
good. You know, it'd be nice to ask him, but okay.
Okay.
Michelle Cherrier and Lester Dunkley to the Wyndham Solid Waste Management District Representatives. The town service officer, we're not required to have that anymore.
they've taken away what they do,
Right.
so.
So should we just cross that one out?
I think I would think yes. I mean, it's nice to eliminate something. once
I mean,
in a while.
Rita's been great, and
Yeah,
She
very-
would
very
do this-
helpful to people
Yes.
that do
Yeah.
contact.
and she would do the same thing regardless of whether she were that town service officer or not. You know what I mean?
Right.
We're
But-
not losing a good citizen.
No, and I mean, I think the definition of that position is gone.
Right.
Right.
It doesn't really exist.
Right,
That's
there's-
the thing.
Now,
Well, could the same be said for about some of these other positions?
Where of coal.
Yeah.
layer
Some of those
coal.
I think we need to actually go through the
I
process
was
to
wondering,
eliminate them.
what
through-
is that process?
Yeah.
That's a very good question. I'll give you the telephone number for VLCT, and
Yeah.
you can maybe.
Yeah, that would be great
Yeah.
if you wanted to look into that.
Okay.
Mhm.
I wondered the same thing.
Let's see, where were we? So the town service officer, what they're trying to do is, there's a hotline, and you dial 222, and that can put you into contact with all the agencies and programs and help that a town service officer might have been able to do.
Hmm.
So,
I mean, if you want to hold off, I'll be happy to call her, just let her know, just because I mean, it's not like, just to let her know what we're thinking.
It's not personal.
No, it's just,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think last time I talked to her, which was a year ago, I think, I don't know if she had a call in quite some time, so
Mhm.
it's kind of moved to a different method of getting assistance.
yeah.
You know?
So, yeah, you want to just
Sure.
talk with her? I think we need to check in with Don Hubbard. But our
Do
need
you plan
update,
to do that? Check in with Dawn, or do you want somebody else to?
I can, I'm happy to do that.
Would you be?
Sure.
That'd be great.
The green update chairs,
Do we, yeah, okay, are they both good?
I think they're both
All
good.
right, we'll add
Good.
those to the motion, green update chairs, Mark Brown and Whitney Harrison.
Now, just to, round out that page, I don't know if you want to throw in the cemetery committee, or if you want to talk with them, or.
That'll be somebody else's motion.
All right, well, why don't we end
Okay,
yours
yes,
here?
all right.
Yeah.
That was a
That was a
It's a
good
good
roll.
chunk.
a good roll,
Yeah.
yes.
I would second that, what Hugh said.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Okay, so you want to skip over the cemetery committee? Or,
You're gonna check in with people? Hugh?
Yeah, have you spoken with anybody?
I spoke with
I know.
Terry Chapman.
Okay, I know Lee's good, Terry's good. Yeah, let's hold off on that one.
Okay. Great. Top of the next page, I don't know if Ruth is wanting to continue, so that's,
Yeah, and that's another one, Senior Solutions Representative.
Dummerston Cares is
Yeah,
kind of
now
taking
that
that over.
Dummerston Cares is
Yeah.
so active, seems like.
okay, want to skip over that one? Or,
Yeah, is that something, I mean, I don't know where that even came, but historically, where does that come from? Do we?
I don't know either, do you know?
Well, maybe
Let's check into
wait
it.
for Rachel's research
Oh,
on
how-
different town positions and see sort of, you know, what the requirements are.
Mhm.
Is the
Okay.
town required to have all of these, or?
Right. If there's an organization that she works with, separate from Dummerston Cares, that'd be good to know.
Hmm.
We have a rescue Harold Newell. Do you know him? Our rescue representative.
He's quite the advocate of rescue. I
He
think he's gonna
is.
stay
He
on
is.
board, so.
Right.
You willing?
52 years ago, I started.
You did.
Okay.
I'll move we appoint Harold Newell to Rescue Inc. representative.
I second that.
Okay. Well, let's vote on that and get it out of the way. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Harold?
Thank you, Harold.
You're in for another year. Thank you for doing that.
I enjoy it.
Good. I'm sure you make their meetings interesting. And I think you do a good job representing the people of Dummerston at this.
There's only two of us of the original that are still alive.
Hmm.
And I'm the only one on the board still. But I've seen great changes. It's hard to believe we went from a station wagon to 9 ambulances and 2 buildings.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
60 employees and a multi-million-dollar per year.
Budget, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, you, look what you started.
You know,
Okay, so we got that. We should probably check with the Vermont Community Development Program.
And what is that?
I don't have any idea, other than Jack Lilly and Jack Mannix have been our representatives.
I'll call them if you like.
Sure.
Can I ask them
Oh,
what that
thanks.
is?
Thanks, Hugh.
I had meant to call Dan Marks for the Connecticut River Joint Commission. That's a commission that's run by the Wyndham Regional Commission that looks into issues surrounding the river, the Connecticut River, and the towns that are along the river. And he's been an enthusiastic and well-regarded member of that commission for many years. But I'll give him a call. Pam McFadden has volunteered to continue as our E911 contact person.
Great.
And that's when a new house or residence comes along, they have to be assigned
Uh-huh.
and entered into the emergency management system. So, I haven't talked with any farmland committee members, so
Does someone need to do that?
probably. But,
Looking at the names on there.
yep,
I can talk to them. I mean, what is the term for that?
it's year to year.
Okay, so just 1 year.
Yep.
And should they ask me questions about the scope of their responsibilities? Are they all they've been on that committee for a while,
They've
and
been
they all
on,
know what it is?
yeah, they've
Okay.
been, the newest members, I think, have been on for at least 2 years, so I
Okay.
think they've got a good sense of it.
The response you'll get will be, oh, you're the newest member of the select board, so that's why you're calling us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I did it last year, or the year before, both, I think.
Yeah.
The Police Advisory Liaison Board,
Is that what Steve did?
yeah. Who would like to take that on?
And so Steve played a role with the select board and the police. Did that come from this position?
Yes.
It seemed like he was a select board representative, and
Yeah.
it was because he held this position.
Yes.
I see. So is it helpful when that person is a select board member, or that doesn't matter? It just so happened that it
Yeah, I
was.
think it's helpful to be a select board
Yeah, because
member.
we see the sheriff's report and police advisory, that has to do with the sheriff, right? Because we don't
Although-
have Dummerston Police.
Right, it would be, if someone needs to get in touch with the state police about an issue we're having or something, you know, this would be the person to.
Okay, state police,
Yeah,
sheriff.
because most of them don't want 5
Mhm.
select board members calling about the
So it
same
is good.
problems.
And
Or
it's
it
just
is-
representing
Select board
the
member.
board to these two agencies. It's not that every citizen can call this person trying to get out of a speeding ticket.
Uh-huh, right.
Right, like we'll call a sheriff when someone asks me
Yeah.
a question here. Like the other day, I was, emailing back and forth. with
I
them.
think you'd
So
be a good person for this, Hugh. Would you be willing to do that?
I will. I'll
Yeah?
keep doing it. I mean, I guess I took it, so I'll
Good.
keep doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
All right,
Well, I would move that Hugh Warden be our Police Advisory Board liaison.
I'll second it.
okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
I'll just abstain on this.
okay, we only have 2 votes.
Oh, I,
Okay. That was a
That was
close
close.
one.
I might not abstain.
All right, good, thank you, Hugh. The Social Services Advisory Committee. Most of those people, Carla Linebeck, Libby LaFlamme, Sandra Campbell, Connie Baxter, Terry Robinson, were all appointed within the just this past summer and early fall. So
Oh, right.
I'm going to make the assumption that they're okay continuing.
Do we appoint this committee now or in the fall?
We can appoint them now. They probably aren't going to meet until the
Right.
fall. But just the, having the comfort of knowing they've been appointed rather than waiting on tender hooks for us to get around to it. And the other members, Rita Ramirez, Bill Pels Walsh, Sarah Ryan, and Cindy Jerome, have been on for a while and are pretty dedicated members. So I'm going to just make the assumption that they're willing to continue, or they will let us know.
Would you like me to communicate with Cindy and let her know that everyone has been appointed, and that she should let us know if any one of those members is not
Mhm.
interested in continuing?
Sure.
Okay,
So
I will do that.
So I'll move that we reappoint the members of our current Social Services Advisory Committee.
I'll second that.
Do you want to add Pam into your motion? We didn't do that.
Pam.
For
Oh,
the
and
911.
also Pam McFarland as our
McFadden.
McFadden?
Who did I say?
Farland.
Okay. Yes, Pam McFadden as our E911 contact person.
I'll second that.
Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right, well, we don't have,
A point of information,
yes, Harold Newell?
yes. You have a person that does on the Development Review Board that doesn't reside in Dummerston.
Apparently, it's not a requirement. He is a property owner
I
in
know.
Dummerston. Yes.
But why you can't find a person from Dummerston that resides in town? that's interested?
We couldn't last year.
I think Harold, for that one, I'll just throw in, I mean, he's been a long-term resident of the town.
I know.
He's really, I think if it was just someone coming from outside of the town wanted to jump on board, it'd be a different story, but, he lived here for a long time. He's been a member of the community, still has property. And I think talking with that board and the composition of that board, I think he adds a lot of value to it. And I think he's got enough connection to the town where I'm very comfortable in him being on that board right now. As opposed to, it's not like someone just showed up and said, hey, I want to be on the Dummerston Review.
No, it wasn't that. It was, the point was, it's always been that when somebody moves out or dies, that they don't continue to stay on the board. I mean, I own property in Brattleboro, but I'm not eligible to be on Brattleboro's boards.
Well, you could check in with them.
I don't want to be.
Okay,
Thank
well,
you.
then that, he wants to be.
I know.
And we feel he has enough connection
But
that
I
he's
just-
a valuable member of that board.
Because there has
Who
been
is it that we're
some,
talking about?
Chad.
Chad.
just that the point is, that the only reason I'm bringing it up, there has been a lot of chit chat about that.
Well,
On the
if the
sideline.
chit chat wants to come to us
Yeah.
rather
I know.
than-
Well, I did.
Then let it.
Yeah.
I came for the answer.
Okay, you got it.
Yeah.
And so you can take that back to the chit chatters and
Yeah.
explain our position.
And they should come in, because he's on a 1-year alternate, but I would support him if a 3-year position area came open and he wanted it. I would certainly put him on that as well.
So if I was 20 years younger, I'd be anxious to go for it, maybe.
Okay. Well, think it over.
That's not gonna happen.
The 20-year younger part?
Right.
Jean's got her crystal ball. Watch out, Harold.
Okay. But, okay, all right. So, we have a few.
Wow, that seemed a lot easier than last year. I don't know.
Why did we
Somehow-
make it so hard last year?
Last year, we were, everybody, we needed phone numbers, and I don't know, this year we're just appointing people.
Yeah, just
I like it.
Yeah,
Much better.
yeah, and, we'll even let them know.
Could do it by
Zeke got
email.
comfortable last year with it, that's why.
Yeah, you don't always have their email though, but,
We have a lot of emails.
yeah,
I'm
But-
doing all the appointments with emails now.
uh-huh.
Mr. Chair, would you allow a question from the BCTV cameraman?
Yes,
Would there be one person who would coordinate would each one of those appointees receive that conflict of interest policy? And have to sign it? I'm just curious. about
yes,
that.
because the conflict of interest policy is for all elected or appointed officials, then yes, we have to find some way of letting, having this available to everyone who serves or is employed by the town. Yep.
Thank you for letting me
Yeah.
ask a question.
So we'll probably post it on the website and have a copy here. So, let's see. Who else? Oh, okay, here's a nice piece of news if we're done with our appointments for the time being. The Dummerston Views deadline for the May issue is March 27th. Everybody's here. If there's someone who wasn't here, we could.
I know. I'm holding out for the winter edition myself.
So, what kinds of things would we want an article in May that is written by the end of March to say?
Let's see.
You could welcome our new member.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's
Share
always
how-
good.
We reorganized.
Mm-hmm.
Give some tips on planting tomatoes.
No, I'm better on chickens.
Okay, well, that would be,
I'm learning
I
a
mean,
lot
there-
about chickens.
okay.
Yeah, so I would agree to write that.
Good. Thank you. That's a lot of, you get a lot of extra credit for taking this on. It's a little difficult when you're still shoveling snow to be thinking, what is still going to be useful?
I know.
That's,
May.
yeah, that's the hard part about writing these
Yeah, because it's so much in advance.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, would an interesting topic be that you did choose that John Deere grader that
Mhm.
will be coming in
Right,
July?
because that's not coming till July. Yeah.
That was-
Okay, I'll put that on my list then.
But of course, when's the next issue? Maybe we should,
No, I got it.
Okay.
It's on my list.
all right, okay. Right, if you,
You might not stir up as much interest, or no, that's not the right word. Controversy is the last spring edition we had. You can keep it, nice and calm in
Okay.
this next one.
Yeah. well,
Yes.
last spring.
editorializing,
Uh,
maybe,
Oh, well, yeah.
was that what it
Was
was?
there actually controversy?
Oh, I think
Did
it's
Joe
more,
write
more
it?
the headline.
Oh,
the
gosh,
headline
yeah,
issues
right,
and things
right.
like that. That
Yeah,
tended
Right,
to
you
change-
wwell, it and
tended
then
to change
the
the meaning of, or the meaning of the
Yeah.
article.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
okay,
Yeah.
well, okay, that was,
This will be much easier.
all right, so, let's see, do we have unfinished business? Next, we're going to meet on March 28th at the Community Center in West Dummerston. Our meeting will start at 6, and we're having the Rich Earth representatives come and talk.
Along with Wyndham Regional Commission representative.
Okay. We, at 7, will break for a public hearing on the zoning bylaws that were approved by the Planning Commission. And those, I'm pretty sure, are on the town website. But this, it's pretty much definitions, cleaning up definitions. There is the wireless telecommunications facilities, which just brings the ordinance that we have, kind of replaces that with a bylaw that brings us into compliance with what the state process is. So, the maps or other zoning or bylaw issues, there are no changes or anything. No changes in land use or anything like that. So that we'll have a public hearing at 7, and then finish our meeting after that.
Has that been warned?
Hmm?
Has that been warned?
Yes,
Okay.
it's been warned. I think it came out in the paper today.
And Zeke, you asked me to publicize the information session
Right.
on the village sanitation pilot study.
Yes,
And so I put that on the Front Porch Forum.
yes, I saw that, yeah.
And if you asked also if I would see if it could go up on the Dummerston Town website. Would you like me to do that also?
Sure, everybody good with that?
It
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
gives a little information about it, so if people want to know if this is something that is of interest, there will be more information on dummerston.org about the information session at our March 28th Select Board meeting, which will be at the West Dummerston Community Center.
Okay. Any other business?
Just to clarify, the meeting time at 6, should we be there at 5:30 to preview any documentation?
You just need to come early enough to go through the packets and warrants.
Usually a half hour is plenty.
Okay.
And
You know, if you've read the stuff on email
Right.
that's come through.
But there's no meeting like today that's happening, right?
not
Okay.
unless Lori comes up, there's nothing scheduled right
Okay.
now.
They're usually available even during the day, so if you get
Okay,
a chance, you can,
okay.
you don't necessarily have to be here early every time.
All right. Will these go down to the
We'll
community
take them
center?
down,
Okay,
yeah,
good.
someone
Yeah.
will pick them up here and
Okay,
take them
got it.
down. Just, let's see, a reminder that all dogs over 6 months old need to be licensed, and you can license them here at the town office with our friendly town clerk. And she can even do it by mail if you give her a call. So, any other business? I see Jean and Harold are getting ready, putting on their coats, so I guess the meeting, we might as well adjourn. I mean,
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
all right,
I'll second that.
okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. The little red light goes off.